Hi everyone, and welcome back to our fisheries apiary, where we've got an interesting situation developing in one of our poly hives. Last week, in fact taking it back a couple of weeks, we discovered that the introduced queen, we put a virgin queen into this colony and she turned into a drone laying queen, unfortunately. So we've removed her. She was taken out last week. I popped over during the week and introduced a mated queen, and unfortunately, because of the time delay with me collecting that queen and bringing her over, she wasn't terribly healthy. In fact, I think she was close to dying. So rather than leaving her in a cage to try and survive herself, what I did was I actually popped her onto a frame. She was actually covered in sugar syrup and honey, and the bees took to her, cleaned her up, and she revived really well. But then after a couple of moments they started attacking her, so I popped her back into the cage on her own and just put her back into the poly hive. So she's now suspended in the poly hive. I don't know whether she's alive or dead, but just like the BS Honey 2-in-1 nuke, we need to get into this colony and to find out what's going on, and either release the queen if she's been now accepted, or we'll need to either unite them with another colony or bring in another queen from one of our queen rearing nukes. So let's take the camera through to this poly hive and see exactly what's going on. So here we are, our Maysmore poly hive. It's actually double brood because we extracted honey from the top box and we left it as a double brood to see if we could encourage them onto a double brood for the winter. So I'm just going to lift this top box off. This is really just a very quick check to see whether the queen is alive and see whether we can do anything to help this colony. So I'll do this in real time and show you how quickly we can get in. We've got some drones still in this colony. Of course, a lot of the time people will try to introduce a queen into colonies where actually they've been a little bit too quick and they've still got an existing queen in there. So this is part of the problem. The queen that was in here became a drone laying queen, and this is all drone brood. So this is the problem that we have, and you can see that that doesn't look like normal brood, worker brood that is. So bees aren't terribly happy, so we just have to go through, have a look to see what's going on. We did actually take the queen out of this colony. And I'm now thinking that maybe I put the queen in the top box, so we'll just have a look. The bees are trying to sting my hand. So yeah, I'm just having a look through here, and I think the queen's actually in the top box, because I can't see the queen's cage. So we will have to have another look. So actually she's on this frame. I did put her in the bottom box. So let's just take this frame out, lay it down. So here we've got, again, a whole area of drone brood, and this is our queen. I'm just looking to see if she's alive in here. It certainly looks as if there's a bee in there moving about, so we'll just change things around. But actually I think she's dead. So yeah, so unfortunately here's the queen, and it appears that Bless her, she's dead. So we now have to rethink this colony because they are going to be hopelessly queenless. So I'll pop that in my pocket and we'll just close this colony down, and then we'll have a little think about the situation, about what we've got. I'm just going to shake these bees off. And then we'll close them up and just have a think and a discussion about the situation that we find ourselves here. So unfortunately, another disappointing result with that colony. It appears that when I put the queen in that cage, I don't know whether you noticed, but there were a couple of other workers in there with her. Now I think they might have been from the original colony here, in which case they might have attacked that queen and killed her, which is a bit unfortunate. But these things happen, so we need to rectify this problem, and the easiest thing for us to do is to either unite them or introduce another queen. We're going to spend this morning looking through our queen mating nukes and see if we've got any spare queens there, and if we have, we'll introduce another queen. If we haven't, then we'll bring over a strong commercial colony and we'll introduce that above this colony and just unite the two and get them ready for the autumn and winter. So fairly straightforward process. It's just a shame. You might have noticed in amongst all of that drone brood that there were some queen cells, or what look like queen cells. Now those are going to be unfertilized eggs, so there's no way that they can be turned into queens. So I didn't bother knocking them down because there's no way that they can turn into queens miraculously. We need a fertilized egg, as you're, I'm sure, aware, in order to produce a queen. So that's why I didn't knock any of those apparent queen cells down. But if you've got any other questions, then please do pop them beneath the video and we'll catch up next time. Thanks for watching.